Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We've got a brand new video from Palantir, and it's Palantir and Tampa Bay General Hospital. Now, this is a really interesting video. Some unique statistics point out in this video. Tampa Bay has been one of the hospitals that Palantir has basically piloted an entire operating system, software of what healthcare looks like, what it could look like from an administrative perspective, what it could look like for nurses, what it could look like for discovery of drugs. All of this stuff has been piloted within this hospital since 2021. Tampa Bay was actually one of the hospitals that spoke at FoundryCon as well, simply because they were so impressed by the product that they wanted to be an evangelist for the product, and they really felt that there was no other company that could do what Palantir had done for them. The reason I know this is because I spoke to an investment manager in New Jersey who was invited to FoundryCon. They got into Palantir when it was about $5 a share in 2018. And when they spoke in the breakout sessions to the executives of Tampa General, and they said, hey, why'd you go with Palantir? They said there was no one else to go with. No one else could do what Palantir did for us. This goes in line with sort of this overall thesis a piece CNBC did about a couple weeks ago on Palantir, that healthcare is one of their largest opportunities. Shyam Sankar, the CTO of Palantir, said that Palantir is the most undervalued healthcare startup in the world. And I tend to agree. Palantir is powering 13% of hospital beds in America. The types of software they're building for the healthcare system, given the potential for them to be able to get this NHS deal and all the things they were doing during COVID, seems like that if they figure out how to go to market, which they're still trying to figure out, their healthcare product and the R&D they've been able to do on it, which means the network effects in terms of how they're going to be able to help other hospitals in the future, is unparalleled. So let's get into this video. This is a really interesting video that was released on Friday. Here is what they've been doing with building a connected health system with Tampa General Hospital.
Tampa General Hospital is really striving to be the safest, most innovative healthcare system in the country. We have a vision of infusing data everywhere to create a connected health system. Foundry is at the core of that strategy. We really don't have the opportunity to waste time and money anymore, the way healthcare is being disrupted. So this is our way to really work toward getting it right at the right time.
There's a ton of data in the healthcare space that we have access to, but it's really hard for clinical teams to access these data points in a meaningful way in their workspaces in real time.
We're integrating data sources into the Foundry ontology and building applications and predictive models to forecast patient placements, while keeping patient privacy and information governance a top priority.
We've seen a 28% reduction in our patient hold time, and we've reduced the time that nurse managers spend managing patient placement by 83%. So patients are moving into care faster, and they're
Okay, so that, I think, it was one of the first big statistics. A 28% reduction using Foundry at the hospital and patient hold time, which is good, right? Because that means patients don't have to keep waiting. And they reduced the time the nurse managers spend managing the patient placement by 83%. This is like inputting all the data into the software so that you're able to manage how the patients are taken care of in the hospital. Those are big numbers. I mean, that's a big deal. That's not a slight decline. That's not 2%, 3%. That's a 28% reduction and an 83% reduction, just because all of the data that Tampa General Hospital wants to use to be able to become a more data-driven hospital, given that healthcare is getting disrupted, is inculcated within one piece of software that is now able to understand and give them insights on how to actually manage the hospital in a better way.
And we've reduced the time that nurse managers spend managing patient placement by 83%. So patients are moving into care faster, and they're getting the treatment that they need faster.
As soon as I come into the hospital, I'm able to bring Foundry up and within seconds understand where our staffing are. It enables us to gather that live data, reallocate those resources as needed, and be very proactive with our staffing.
The PACU is our post-anesthesia care unit. It's where a patient temporarily recovers from their surgery. And we're leveraging Foundry in order to deploy AI models and recommendation engines in order to optimize how we plan for patients leaving the PACU and entering into our hospital inpatient units. Currently, our predictive models are at over 95% accuracy. We're now able to plan hours, days, and sometimes even weeks in advance in order to make sure that there's a bed for a patient as soon as they're done with their surgeries.
So that's another big deal. 95% accuracies on predictive simulations. Basically what they're saying is they put in a bunch of data into the model. The model then creates a simulation. This is where it uses a lot of the back end of the AI and machine learning to be able to say, hey, on this day, during this time, because of these variables, these are the beds that are going to be open. These are the beds that are not going to be open. And as a result, the hospital, which at the end of the day is still a business, can figure out where to put patients, how much room they have, who to accept, who to not to accept in terms of, very critical cases. and be able to have a much more efficiently run hospital, which is going to lead to better bottom line profits for the hospital at the end of the day.
What we've done with Foundry is really build pathways for our patients. We do know what they need, but keeping track of that is very, very difficult in a complex health system like ours. So Foundry allows us to see if a patient is really falling off that pathway, and we can act immediately to make sure they get what they need and stay on track to recover.
You know, this is just so interesting as well. Let me say this. The idea that a hospital actually runs correctly, like all we are a bunch of apes, right? We're a bunch of sacks of meat with these like intellectual minds. And the fact that we're running this entire earth as if like, you know, this is an operation, we can get things done, we can create purpose, meaning, and all this stuff in our life. A hospital in and of itself is one of the most interesting things. What that lady just said is like, we know what the patients need, but being able to distribute it and give them the care that they deserve is the hard part. And it's like the fact that you know what patients need, the fact that you're able to take care of patients, that the fact that you're able to deliver healthcare and save lives, and that Palantir's technology is this thing that's hypercharging the assistants in order to make that system better. That to me is a software company, you know, it makes me more bullish. It's a software company that I want to invest in. It's a software that I think has much more potential than people give it credit for, because it's enhancing human experiences. It's not replacing any of these people's jobs. It's making them more efficient and faster and connected to actually solve real problems, which is what you have in a hospital. You have real people with life or death situations that you need to be able to resolve.
Foundry has allowed us to be able to centralize all of our data assets so that we have one common operational layer. Everyone is connected to one health system.
It's incredibly flexible and serves as an operating system for all of our data assets, getting patients into care faster and moving from a reactive to proactive planning.
If we can leverage Foundry in a way that'll actually save lives, that really connects our analytic vision to infuse data in all aspects of the care continuum.
Our analytics team are now equipped to fully lean in and build towards our vision of a connected hospital.
I feel empowered to be able to help more people more efficiently each day. It's a great feeling to know we're caring for patients in the best, most efficient way possible.
Yeah, I think that last sentence is kind of what I was trying to convey as well. The director of patient services says, I feel better about my job, about my life, because I know that we're able to take care of patients in a more efficient way. You know, my dad actually was just in the hospital. I haven't really talked about it publicly, but he was in the hospital for a couple weeks, had a little bit of a surgery done. His parents were in the hospital back in December. Unfortunately, both of them passed away within 10 days of each other. My mom has been in the hospital over the past couple months. And so it's like, I've been in a hospital all of 2023, and I've seen what it feels like. And just like the nursing, the staffing, the ability to get them their drugs on time, delivering food, making sure they're taken care of. It's a complex task. And, you know, nurses can't do it all on their own. I mean, nurses are overworked to the bone. Like, the amount of stuff they have to do is just insane. So having a piece of software that can make your life easier, that can get the job done in a quicker way, and for the hospital to be able to increase their bottom line because of that, is just a no-brainer to me. The question now is, how can Palantir expand, right? So this NHS deal that I think we're going to get, I think as a result of all the R&D we've been able to do in the healthcare space, building out a federated data platform for 70 million people in the UK, I think is a very big deal. And if that works out, I think there's not only more hospitals to get in the United States, there's a lot more hospitals to get across the entire world. I did the video the other day about Cardinal Health and that supply chain procurement in the healthcare space that Palantir is operating in as well. There are drug discovery, pharmaceuticals. There is so much of a market opportunity in healthcare. The question is just if Palantir is going to be able to capture it. So those are my thoughts. A brand new video by Palantir in Tampa General Hospital. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Please subscribe to dailypalantir.com/subscribe for a free email newsletter every day. And I'll see you guys in the next one.